Hi everybody, my name is Dana Woodrum and today we're going to talk about apples. The name of my unit is called Apples, 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 and I chose to create a unit for kindergarten children. I like to use this unit in the fall when apples are ripening. It is a time when most of the kindergartners are just going to be learning their skills, so most of the things I've created are basic knowledge that the children need to know. I chose apples because it's a concept that is not foreign to them. It's something they can all understand, and there's countless ways to use it. You can use it, there's apple songs for music, apple art, you can talk about Johnny Appleseed in social studies. There's tons of apple books that you can use for literature. There's also, this book like 10 Apples Up on Top that you can have the children practice balancing beanbags on their head, which can be a movement or a PE type of thing. You can bring in nutrition with apples, not to mention what I'll show you later with math and science. So there's just a ton of things you can do with apples, and most children like them, so we like to do taste tests with them and graphing favorite apples and favorite apple products. So here's my notebook, and it begins with my description of the unit. And when I set up to introduce the unit, I would go into my classroom and make a big tree out of a bulletin board paper, and I would love to put it into 4 sections where you're showing the way the tree is over the different seasons, so you can incorporate seasons. There's lots of standards that can be touched with the apple theme. You can use it, as I was saying, with art, printmaking, make a seasons book, all sorts of things that you can do. You're also going to be talking to them about plant life and how plants grow, what plants seem to grow, the different stages of an apple tree's growth. So that's another thing. And so the first section of my notebook is my unit description. And the main goals of the unit are that children understand what they need to grow a plant, which is seed, dirt, water, sunshine. And they're going to understand the apple tree stages, which is, seeds, the blossoms, seed, seedling, tree, then the blossoms, the little greener apples, and then the full apple. They also are going to learn the parts of a plant, the roots, the stem or the trunk, and the branches and the leaves and the flowers. The other thing that is important that I want them to know is one-to-one correspondence, which you can do with apples and the apple seeds. Okay, moving on. I chose to do a math calendar board, and that is the next section of my notebook. And let me show you a picture I have of it, and then I'll show you the real things. Here is the basic picture of the bulletin board all together. And so let me explain that. The first part of the bulletin board, of course, in your calendar board is the calendar. So I don't have it up anymore, so I'm going to show it to you. But here's my October calendar. Here's my October, that was above it. And what we're doing here is patterning, A-B patterning. And you can have students come up and put it up there and show it, and have them count. They can count to what date is all the way to the number 9, and then they can talk about red, blue, and A-B pattern. You can change these patterns to be A-B-B-A or A-B-C, A-B-C, or different ones, whichever ones your class needs to work on. That's our first math board. The second thing we're going to do on our calendar board every day is look at the weather. And then I have this set up as what is our weather today. And each day the weather helper will come in and place what it is, if it's rainy, cloudy, sunny, all the different things. And then after they do that, they're going to have a tally for the weather record. This next is our weather record. And see, you're using the apples as the tally marks. So they put up sunny, they'll come put up an apple underneath the sunny tallies. And then, of course, the children can count the apples, how many are sunny, how many are cloudy, which one has the most, which one has the least, how many more cloudy days do we need to equal out the sunny days. There's just a variety of ways that you can incorporate this into the math. The last thing I had on my calendar board was counting to 100, which is something that kindergartners need to learn. So every day of school, you're going to put up another apple. And this, they're going to count every day. They're going to see patterns of, you know, the 10, 20, 30 different patterns of how counting goes. All right, moving on. And my next thing in my book, oh, here I have a couple. Let me show you this couple of pictures of my daughters actually doing some parts of the calendar board. Okay, the next part is the apple match game. And let me show you a picture of what my directions are in there. And you're going to, it's pretty much a memory game with apples used as the, here's my game, and it's, what you do is you just have apples with shapes inside, and you're going to play memory with them, which is lay them all flat, turn one over, see if it matches. Doesn't match, try again. If it matches, you get to keep it. This is great. They can do it partner or by themselves. You can make this colors. If someone needs to just work on their colors, you can make colors. For higher learning kids, you can do uppercase, lowercase letters. There's a variety of things you can put in the middle of here. You can even put like one seed with the number 1 and have them match that. That's my math game. Sorry. And I went ahead and put in my my math lesson plan that I did, which was a learning how to finish patterns. Okay, the next thing is my science game, and it is learning the life cycle of the apple tree. And this would be something that I would do with my students after we had talked about it. Here we go. Here's the directions. You're going to look at the cards. You're going to put them in order, and then you check your answer key on the back to see if you're right. And this is definitely something that's a reinforcement for them to know the different stages of a tree: young apples, seedling, ripe apples. Okay, so that's my science game. That's what I had in next. And then my last thing I had in here was my science lesson plan. And that was where I taught them about talking about how to do an experiment, a hypothesis, and a conclusion. And after a teaching lesson, their independent work was to take these two colors, guess what color they would be together, do the experiment with paint, and color in with a crayon what color it ended up being, and say, yes, my hypothesis was right, or no, my hypothesis was wrong. And so that was after a lesson plan and some guided practice and everything. So there it is. As I said, apples, you could go on and on and on with apples. Here's a few of my books that I just have here. Johnny Appleseed's great for social studies. Under the Apple Tree, I like to read this and then have children either journal what they would like to do under an apple tree. And then, of course, I showed you the 10 apples up on top, and you can do art and movement and all sorts of things with it. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for all your interesting ideas I'll get from you guys, and blessings to you all as we finish up this course. Thanks.